Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to show you how to make a pop-up nativity scene. First of all, you'll need some white paper. I have a 9 by 12 piece, and what you're going to do is fold it in half. I'm going to bring up the bottom piece here and carefully line up one corner and then the other corner. What I like to do is bring one hand in the middle and hold it firmly, and then bring the other hand and slide it down to crease the center first. And then with my nail, I go to the edge on one side, and then with my other nail, I go to the edge on the other side. Make sure it's creased really well. And what you'll have is a folded piece like this. And we are going to make a cut along the side that has the fold. So make sure you have the folded side right here. And you are going to make a little mark with a pencil, just a few inches apart. I'm going to make it right here and right here. Just like that. And then you are going to take your scissors and you will cut 2 slits along those lines, just like this. The more you cut, the farther in you cut, the bigger your pop out is going to be. I'm just going to do it a couple inches. You can always cut more if you want to, so don't cut too much right away. Now what you'll do is you will open up the piece, and you are going to take the center, take your finger behind the paper, and you are going to push that center piece out. It's a little tricky, but what you'll do is you will fold it in. So I'm going to crease and make a new crease along this edge here and this edge here. Just like that. And then you can fold it down. And now that section is popping in. So when I open it, I have a little pop out. Now, what we're going to do is create a nativity scene. Baby Jesus is going to be glued to this middle piece because he's going to be the one that's popping out the most, so that he's the focal point since he's the most important part of the nativity scene. I'm just going to draw a little bit to plan out my design. If you want to, you can take a scrap piece of paper, or in your sketchbook, you can plan out what you think you want to create. So I could think of different styles. I might want Jesus to be in his manger with hay sticking out. And then you can keep it as simple or as complex as you want. I might just do a simple circle and little hands popping up. Here's what I'm going to include on my design. And you can include shepherds, you could have the wise men if you wanted to, or an angel, more stars, more trees, a donkey, whatever you want. After you have your plan done, then you will get started on cutting out your pieces. You can cut out your pieces. I would redraw them on a thicker piece of paper. So I'm going to draw them on white paper and then cut them out. If you would like to use construction paper, you can use any sort of colored pieces, and you could cut out the designs and then glue them onto your backdrop. I'm just going to do the white paper, and then I'm going to add color as I want to. So I'm going to start with Jesus first. When you go to cut out your piece, make sure you do a bubble cut first around the main design. Don't worry about the details yet. And then you can cut carefully around the details after that. turning your paper as you are slowly closing your scissors. So the next step is going to be to glue your image down to the paper. And I'm going to glue Jesus right here so he's front and center and is popping out. And what you'll need is a glue stick and then some scrap paper so you don't get glue on the table. I'm just going to use this white piece of paper. And I'm going to look to see where it touches. It only goes about halfway, so I only need to glue about halfway up. Put a nice amount of glue on there. And then you can stick it down. This is the hardest piece to glue because you don't want it to glue to any other part. Give that some time to dry as you're squeezing it. And there you have baby Jesus sticking out. And I'm going to design my background and then I will draw Joseph, Mary, and then some sheep to put and glue down. All right, you can see here that I chose what elements I would have, and I ended up not going with the palm tree, but I added Mary and Joseph. I just glued them down. I definitely want to remind you to color your background first before you start gluing things down. I had to color around some of my pieces, and then I also glued a star on as well. So you can glue whatever pieces you want on top. Also, another option is if you would rather just do colored construction paper, I have an example of some simple pieces just cut out of colored construction paper. That is an option as well, and you could even use a colored background like a blue, a dark blue for the night sky. So you can cut all of your pieces out of construction paper and glue them down. You could add details on top or just leave them how they are. They're nice and simple for a nativity. The last thing I want to show you is how to make pop-ups. So I drew two little sheep here that I'm going to have laying down, or standing up and then laying down. And what I did was I have some extra paper, a little tab at the bottom, and what I'm going to do is fold that back so that when I glue the sheep down, it can be popped up. It's a little bit hard to see, but it'll be like that. So I will put glue on the bottom. Actually, if I unfold it, it's on just the bottom of the image of the drawing. So I will put the glue on there and then figure out where I want to place it and just hold for 10 seconds. This one I made the tab a little small, but I can still glue it down, I think. There we go. So it looks like that when you were looking straight at it, pretty much. And then I am going to just write a phrase down here. Could be Jesus is the reason for the season, or Merry Christmas, something like that. Now we have our finished pop-out nativity scene. Have fun.